over a jam track here, and I got a video that shows me exactly what chords are whipping by in the background and what scales and arpeggios I can use over these chords. And that is normally, that's not possible for most people. How can you use multiple scales and multiple arpeggios and have those, and change them every time the chord changes? That seems like an impossible task. But it is the key to improvising solos that are just right the first time around. And there's actually a way of learning that. There is actually a methodical, step-by-step way in which you can learn to do this. And this program is a training program. It gives you all these jam tracks, but then for each jam track, we select the tools we use, and then we lay them out in what I call a power path. So instead of just saying, oh, you have to learn all the arpeggios, you have to learn all the scales and all the tools and master them at the highest level, and then you can start improvising. Instead of doing that, because that's a cool thing too. Learn all the shapes and the arpeggios and practice them. But in this program, we're going to take the inside-out approach again. Learning everything there is to learn is an outside-in. But then you can't really play until you get to the middle of it, and very few people get to the middle of it if you don't start there. So what we do is we'd say, okay, what chords do we have here? And what tools can we use that can really amp up our solos? And then we lay them out in a power path. And that's simply just a little scale shape that contains, say, in the bottom of it, we start with the first chord. We got like an A natural minor scale. Then we move up to the second chord. And then we have like an A9 arpeggio, for instance, in the middle here. And up here, we go to another chord and we have a different tool, an arpeggio, a scale, something, a pentatonic scale, a blues scale. And that requires you, or it just, you learn the path and then suddenly you're able to not only move across the fretboard, but also use the most amazing tools that will just, surprise even yourself when you're playing because you hit all the right notes. Right? So this is really a program that trains you to do that. And once you've been through all of these jam tracks and you practice them and you practice the insights and the theory behind these power paths, and you use them in a practical way, see them on the fretboard, experience what it means to use a major seventh arpeggio over a minor chord, then gradually you simply build the ability to build your own power paths just like that. Because you have been doing it for so long and for so much. So this is how I did it, basically. I just sat down and said, there's no way I'm going to learn everything and then start soloing. So I need to figure out a way to get there faster, to get there tomorrow when I'm playing with the band. And this was what I did. Power paths, and then I used moldable licks, which we have quite a few of as well. And what is that? Well, instead of learning like a series of notes like that and then practicing them over and over again, and then when the music starts playing, you can fire off that thing. That's not improvisation, right? Instead of doing that, we construct little entities, loopable entities of notes that you can play. And then we practice breaking them up, playing some of it, and then ending it in different ways. So we basically take that bundle of notes that you can practice in a loop with a metronome and with a jam track, and then we break it up and make it an improvisational tool. So it's designed to be a creative tool instead of being something, a little bit of a solo from somebody else's work, right? So it gives you the freedom to figure out what you like when you solo, what lines you really like. Instead of just saying, okay, I want to play like him, and then you start playing like him. That's fine too. But you want to develop from there and develop your own style. And that's what moldable licks do. So I sincerely hope that you'll look further into this sales page because I'm trying to sell you on this. Let's just say it like it is. Because that selling process where you say, oh, this really makes sense. Let me go for it. And you invest your time and your money in it. The time is much more important than the money, right? Because you can't get that back. But you create a project out of this program and say, okay, I'm going to do one track a week and I'm really going to go into the power paths and I'm really going to understand what's going on here. And then after these 10 weeks or whatever, I'm going to have a transformed playing style completely. But you need to be fired up. You need to be passionately into this in order to do that. And that's why your brain learns the fastest. So look into this and help me sell this to you so you get all fired up and passionate. Create a project and then really get the most out of your investment. So I hope to see you in the pages of this course.